Addiction in crypto is a real thing, and especially addiction to certain tokens that you really love and believe are going to go to the moon. In this video, I want to show you a specific example, a real trade that I'm still in, of me getting addicted to something and me mismanaging it. And also, I'm going to show you what are the steps to kind of manage and first of all to register that you might be addicted to something and you're not doing the right things, and also how to overcome it and prevent yourself from getting in situations where you really shouldn't be. So yeah, let's start with it. ChainGPT is a token, and as you can see, this is the chart from the beginning. So this is from April to 2023. Is an AI related token with a catchy, I would say, ticker. And also you can see usually, in the beginning, it didn't look pretty. And somewhere around here after accumulation, it started reaccumulating back in here. And since this was an AI narrative, I've did some research on this token. There are several reasons for me to be interested. And there was one in specific that I really, really liked. And usually when all the things align that you have as a theory, it's good to follow those those rules and buy the token. So that's exactly what I did. After this push here and the breakout right here, I started entering a position in ChainGPT around 0.18 cents. So 18 cents. And my goal here was, okay, I'm playing the AI narrative. I want to hold this for a cycle, so for a parabolic run up. Plus, it's got good Ponzonomics, and what that meant is that they have staking, and on their staking platform, when you stake, you can actually participate in their launchpad. And with the launchpad, they promise you that you're getting allocations to newer tokens that are launching with them. And of course, they claim that this is like 5x return on every token that they launch, all those beautiful things. Plus, on top of this, they have a working product in AI, which people are paying for, which in crypto, I think it's very important to have a business model that actually works and generates money for the project. It's not only inflation through the token emissions. So I bought this and I was like, okay, I want this long term because I believe we're going to have a cycle. This was back in beginning of 2024. So things were starting to get pretty wild then. And as you can see, it was the best move ever, because from my entry, this pretty much shot up around 3x, so 200% gains in very little time. So this was March of 2024. However, I was first very moon boyish and I didn't take any profit. But second of all, I couldn't take profit because I was taking my tokens for 6 months. Because I was playing the pad thing, so I was trying to do the launches, buy the tokens. The whole thing, it's a big shenanigans. And if you guys want to know more details, just ask me in the comments. I'll explain a little bit. I don't want to waste time here because it's a different purpose for the video. But there are a couple of mistakes that I made here, that it didn't take profit, didn't hedge the position with short or anything. And of course, I had the tokens locked for a very long time, from January to June. So they got unlocked somewhere in here when they were pretty much testing my entry level. And since I've been in crypto for a while, and this was the first sign of the addiction here, is that once you see such kind of gains so fast, and you've been in previous cycles, you're like, damn, this is going to be a 10x for me. In any other market, if you see a 2 or 3x, it's like, wow, and you will start probably taking profit. However, in crypto, it's like, this is just the beginning. Although the weekly here, it was starting to look overextended. What's happening? Okay, come on. There it is. So you can see on the weekly, this was like so many green weeks in a row. Again, I couldn't sell, but you can see that this was getting overextended. And here, at like 50 cents, I was like, oh, we're going to $1, so I'm going to double my money. And it's very weird because your brain kind of starts playing tricks with you, because in the past this has happened, and you're always greedy because you want to make it in crypto, and potentially you can make it with just one token. You've seen all those stories. There's confirmation bias and survival bias, and you see on all the accounts like in Twitter or YouTube, oh, I made X amount of money with just one token, or this guy from Pepe very early bought Pepe and made billions of dollars in just one go. There are all kinds of guys that support this kind of bias. So you fall into this trap of thinking, yes, this is very easy and it's definitely going to happen in one of my tokens. Although I'm up massively, I should be patient and wait, because this is what happens. We have those crypto cycles, which there's a different theory here that I have, that maybe we're not going to have the same cycles as before, and that thing is over. However, you can see here that it played a trick on me and I didn't take any profit. And this happens all the time with a lot of people. Trust me, I've seen a lot of people do this. And as you can see, even I'm doing it still to this day, for different reasons. So what happened is I watched this whole thing go down pretty much 90% from the top. And not only that, but come down below my entry. So I was underwater on a, I would say, quite sizable position, not too small, but sizable. I was down 30 and at some point even 40, 50% on the position, which is not a situation you want to be in. Holding for months, I would say even a year, almost a year I've been holding this, and be down, first be up like 2x, 3x, and then be down 50%. That's the absolute worst thing you can do for your mentality and in general for your discipline as a trader. However, I was like, fuck it. I'm not gonna overthinking. There has been a strategy in this place, which was, okay, we're gonna get a bull run. Obviously, I think this part here got invalidated and maybe now we're starting a new cycle, but here I definitely got invalidated. But because in this area, and that's the next very important point, I had the hope that we're still gonna get a bull market, and yes, we're still in an AI narrative. I had all these hopes and dreams that this is going to play out again, and it's gonna come up higher. I was just holding this. Well, trust me, it wasn't great mentally because I was thinking about this position. And as you can see, it had a push here after it crashed, had a push, rejected at the level that I sold. And I was like, no, I'm holding. So again, back at the bottom of the range. I tried a long, can't remember, was it here on this breakdown and reclaim, that I didn't play well. So I closed it too early and then it started running. So this was a good entry, but I didn't play the position correctly. And then I had additional damage, to my mental side. Then we had another push here that also got rejected. And just recently, we had another push that actually broke out. And not only that, it broke out, but it faked out as well. This was a nice range between 20 and 10 cents. This was a massive fake out here. But again, I held through the whole thing because now I was starting to get angry. Now I was like, fuck this. I'm just gonna hold it either to zero or to infinity because I know it's gonna go up. It's gotta go up. It's gotta go up. And that's very typical for addiction. You believe in something and you cannot control your emotions, so you cannot even make reason with yourself as long as you're blinded in belief, in emotions, in hope, in past experiences, and all the other things. And what pretty much happened here is that the market bailed me out, honestly, in a couple of ways. First of all, the market started trending, obviously after so long. And this is a solid project, you could still pull like 10, 20x, but that's besides the point right here. I didn't play the whole thing well, but now I'm starting to see it, trending in the right direction after this breakdown and reclaim. And suddenly, just a few days ago, we had Binance announcing that this is listing on Binance, and it caused 100% spike in just one day. And that was incredible because, we always speculate, some tokens will list on Binance, they will pump and blah, blah, blah. But for me, it wasn't expected because I was so emotionally attached to this one and there's so much baggage already that I was like not thinking clearly, and I didn't believe it's gonna do well or not. It was, I was already burned out from thinking about this token. And suddenly I see the spike. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna sell. And I sold a significant part of the position here, around 38 cents. So I made a clean 2x, I would say, pretty much a 2 and a bit x. I sold most of the position here. Now it's trending down and I could potentially buy it lower. And I still made money, which actually is a big problem. And another point that I want to bring when it comes to the addiction, because just think about what I've just told my brain. Just think about this. So yes, it's okay to buy here. Yes, it's okay to fumble a massive bag and not sell anything here. And when this happens, it's okay to hold through months and months of pain here, because you know what? Everything's gonna be okay and your token will return and it will make a new high and you'll still make money. Which, if you're not attached emotionally, it's, I think, extremely wrong rule and thinking to have, especially in crypto trading and especially in the coming years in crypto. Because yes, we could still have a massive blow off top. We could still see this specific token go like 10 or 50x. But the whole way that you played it will cause you also, and by you I mean me, because I obviously traded this thing. Next time you see something like this and you play it this way, it's not gonna come back. And you're gonna lose like 60, 70, 80, 90% of your money. And this has happened to me. It's not new. I'm not like shying away from it. And it has happened to many, many, many other traders that I know and I follow and I'm quite successful, at least in my eyes. And I've seen them hold their backs through stuff like this because they believe we're not in the cycle where we are satisfied with 2 or 3x and we need like 5, 10, 50x's. This is how we're designed to be because of previous years, because of previous cycles. But I think long term, this is not a sustainable strategy, because at some point, even if you make those crazy gains, you will potentially lose the money, because you'll be right here and you might take some profit, but then you'll be willing to buy other stuff that will go down 90% later in the cycle, and you will still be holding it because you believe it's going to come back, and it's not going to, or at least it's not going to for many, many years. And I just think this means like we're leaving a lot of money on the table, and it's not the right way to do this. Okay, with all this, like, how do you come out of this situation? Well, first of all, you need to register when you're actually having such a problem. And there are several questions you can ask yourself while you're in a trade and in the process. You should be, first of all, taking a trade with a specific set of plan and principles in place. So, for example, for this trade, I had a strategy for it, but obviously didn't execute perfectly. But if you enter this breakout, let's say, you need to have a plan. Okay, where's my profit target? Where am I taking my cost basis out? How much money do I want to leave on the table? If I see this accelerating, what do? Where's the level that I cut out once it starts trending, or maybe it doesn't, maybe it just falls apart. Where's your level to minimum, to cut your losses? And these are all included in plans that you need to have in advance, because when you're not, you're like, the level is reached, let's say 30 or 40 cents is reached, and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna hold it because I don't have a plan, and then if you start seeing yourself, and that's very, very important, if you start seeing yourself defending this token and how great it is and how much money they're making, or whatever explanation you give yourself, and it's really a confirmation bias because you really want this token to do extremely well, and this is just the beginning. This is, I think, the greatest sign of crypto addiction, because you could do this for every token, for Ethereum, for Solana, whichever token you choose, there's something behind it that can tell you it's a great investment. There are many examples. I wouldn't go through this, but I'm pretty sure, like, if you've done a little bit of crypto trading, you know what I'm talking about. So I don't even need to clarify this. And the moment this happens, you need to start being very, very cautious. And especially if you see yourself in big money, because we kind of lose the perspective here. So let's say, doesn't matter your size, but let's say you put 10K into this and you've doubled your money and you make 20K. Like, this still is a significant amount of money. And you can start asking yourself, like, what could you buy with the money if you just take them out? And how many times in your life have you been so close to a $10,000? Just one click away. When was the last time? Think about it in such situations. It doesn't matter if it's $2, $5, 50,000 or $1,000,000 for you. It doesn't matter. But just think about this. And the best part is that you can still manage the trade. You can take profit, leave some on the table, which I've done with this trade. I still have some running and might be buying lower. We'll see. But there are many ways to navigate this. But this question, I believe, is going to help you significantly to reduce your addictiveness. And also another key and another clue that you can do is once you see, let's say you're in this trade. Let's go a little bit on the 12-hour chart. Let's say you're here and you're in profit and you see this chart all by itself. You try to ignore the fact that you have a much lower cost basis. And let's say you see this blow off top here. And we're back at this level. We consolidated for quite a bit above it. And you see it starting breaking down around 40 cents or so. So if this is a fresh chart, would you be buying here? Or would you be selling? Like independently of anything. What is your reason to hold the token here? Would you be like, if it is to open a new position on this token, would you open it here? If the answer is no, well, you know what you gotta do. Ignore all your emotional baggage because it's a lot. Same with here, maybe you saw these wicks that this level is failing. Like, are you gonna be buying this breakout? Or if you bought this breakout here and you see it close back, are you still gonna be holding it? Where's your stop loss as a trade? So think about this as a separate trade without all the emotional baggage. And if the answer at any point is no, I wouldn't be holding it, then guess what? You gotta be selling out of your token. Because guess what? There will be more opportunities. Even if it's to the upside or to the downside. Like even here, think about it here. Such a great chart for learning. Like, let's say you saw this correction, you didn't buy the dip, but you decided to wait for a breakout. It failed here. And you're like, oh no, maybe you should have cut it here. But then you see a breakout happening here. Very similar to the one that I took earlier in the chart. So you take this breakout and again, ask yourself the same question. If this starts trading in the upper, would I be holding? Yes. Yes, you will. You want to catch the move. And it's trending in the right direction. So great, you just keep holding it. And if it starts breaking down, again, like it did here, maybe you need to cut it and wait for a better entry, either on the retrace like here from this order block, perfect entry here, potential, or the breakout, depends on your strategy and how you want to play it. But you can see that it's not all white and black. It's not like, oh, I'm going to hold this token for a gazillion X's, or I'm just going to not participate in it. There are very many nuances. But the absolute most important lesson to avoid this and to manage this entire roller coaster, emotional roller coaster, is to have extremely good discipline. I think this is like the biggest issue with traders. Nobody, including myself, I don't believe I still have built the required discipline to be a great trader. I'm a profitable trader, but I'm not a great trader yet. And I'm on the way. I believe I'm going to reach there. But if you don't have the discipline, it's not going to be happening. Because, like, for example, even here, seeing this pump of 80%, I was like, okay, I need to take profit. This has happened before. I know what happens with Binance listings. And even if it continues pumping, I just need to manage it. I will take some profit. I'll leave some on the table. If it retraces, I'll decide if I want to get back into it, and so on, so on, so on. But if I didn't have the discipline to take profit here, after such a long time, I could have suffered even more, because now it's down quite a bit, from my exit. It's down 20%, which it would hurt. And yeah, I could have played with my emotions and say, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna hold it because blah, 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 I'm so pissed. But again, I'm leaving money on the table. I'm leaving a 2x on the table. Why would I? What's the reason for this? Is there a better opportunity? With the overall market looking like shit right now, somebody just gave me an opportunity to double my money in a shitty market. why wouldn't I take it? You know, it's very, very interesting. And if you're into trading, it's like one of the best tools ever for your emotions and for your for you becoming even a better person. And that's exactly what I want to end on. Just make sure you acquire the discipline by having the plans to execute, and also to repeatedly doing what you've said you will. And if you don't, that's okay. You know, it's gonna happen. Obviously, we're not perfect. We're human. We want to get greedy or whatever, but be aware that this happens, and be aware that this is your key to making a lot of money on the market and becoming a better human being. Stick to your rules. Have rules, because many people don't have the discipline to build rules, but have your rules and make sure you stick to them for months and years on end. Whatever happens, even though you will have, you know, issues, and you will face moments of time that you'll be like, okay, I fucked up here. We all do. That's fine. But make sure it's you follow your rules more than you don't. And with time, you'll see your trading and your P&L transforming. I promise you. It's extremely powerful. That's everything for this lesson, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.